Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. It looks like the mic was muted. So, all right. So I don't know if want to make sure everybody heard us. Welcome again to the Transmission Club podcast. I don't know if the mic was muted. Hopefully, if you're watching live, you can put in the chat that you can hear us. So thank you again. So yeah, welcome again. Let me introduce the guest for this evening. Our next guest is a multifaceted intermediary, law enforcement professional, and women enthusiast. She is involved in various organizations and involved in organizational development. She has enjoyed several years of vocational success in law enforcement. She stewards a genuine conviction for female leadership and a historic preference for unity in the justice system overall. She's a part of a book. Now, is it released? Is it released yet? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an anthology. She contributed to chapter 13, where she shares her story about being a pregnant officer. So she's going to talk about that. She is a native Detroiter, wife, mother. Yes. So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 92. None other than Angelica Robinson.
Hello. Hey, everyone.
All right. So, I did a little introduction. So, if somebody was asked, who is Angelica Robinson? What would you say?
Wow. So I would say Angelica Robinson is cool. So no, but Angelica Robinson, for the most part, is a 29-year veteran, still active police officer. I am the owner of WatchGuard Private Security and Investigations. I also am the founder of Angelica Speaks LLC, along with many other, a few other platforms that I am currently managing as well. I am a mother of a 15-year-old beautiful daughter by the name of Carly Robinson, who attends university. I am the wife of Little Willie, a very well-renowned hairstylist. He's renowned around the entire world. We've been married on 23 years now. My daughters also are Denise and Elizabeth Robinson. I have a grandson that's on the police department. His name is Kaylin. I also have a nephew that's on the Detroit Police Department. His name is Kevin Smith at the 11th precinct. Kaylin Law, he's at the 12th precinct. So pretty much that's Angelica. I'm also, one other thing, I am the pretty much the face of the Elite Women organization that is founded by Carol E. Dorsey.
All right. Okay. So, oops, there you go. So that was I appreciate the introduction. You're multifaceted. You do various different things. So I kind of want to do a little bit of backstory to kind of paint a picture of your journey. So, when you was a child, was there officers or cops in your family? What led you to have a desire to go into law enforcement?
Yeah, so actually, like I said, it started like when I was I want to say around maybe like 13 or maybe a little younger. I would always see these officers around the schools. One in particular, his name was Officer French. I was seeing him on this motorcycle.
In Henry Ford High School?
Ford High School.
Did you go to Henry Ford High School?
I'm a graduate of Henry Ford High School. Yep.
Oh, I remember. He had
That
beard.
gray beard.
Officer French.
Yes, Officer French.
Because they had like, sorry, they had a gang squad. Remember?
Yes.
So, okay, so yeah, that's a whole. Okay.
That's
Wait,
right.
Officer French. Yeah.
Officer French.
Henry Ford High School. Shout out to the prison.
Absolutely. Wow. So yeah, I would always mess with his bike.
Okay.
And he would always come at me. You know what I'm saying? So he was a great officer. He was one of the great officers. And so from then I ended up joining what was called the Junior Police Cadets.
Okay.
And I worked at the 2nd Precinct, which is in Detroit off the Grand River Shore.
Yeah.
So I worked over there processing juveniles. My immediate supervisor was Sergeant Hudson.
Okay.
So I pretty much processed the juveniles. I would love to hear the stories from the veteran officers.
Yeah.
And just, really connected with the public, even though I was processing juveniles that were brought in, I connected with them,
Mm-hmm.
as well as with the officers. So from there, I was like, I did security.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. I worked for Pinkerton at General Motors in the headquarters part of it.
Okay.
So I had, my encounters, and I loved it. I was like, I'm going to join the Detroit Police Department. And so I took my little cell phone down at the age of 18.
Okay.
And I was like, next thing you know, they was for real calling me. They were going to park at that time. And they called me, and I was like, okay, here we go. Went and did the jury, did all my little testing, and here I am 29 years later.
Wow. So this all started by officer friends on the motorcycle at Newport High School.
Yep, sure did.
Wow. And so now you said you entered the cadet program.
Juvenile Police Cadet.
Was that in Henry Ford, or was that outside of the school? Or?
It was actually outside of the school.
Mm-hmm.
I just was I had went and I had heard about the program. I can't remember who it was that actually put me on, but I got hired in.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I wore the little khaki uniforms at the 2nd Precinct, just waiting for them to bring the juveniles in so I could process them. And I had a lot with it.
Wow. So was there anybody in the family to say, Angelica, you sure you want to do this? Anybody talk to you out of it?
Actually, no. Being that said, I'm not really close with my immediate family, like my siblings and stuff like that. Not really that close with them. So I pretty much been on my own for the most part since I was 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to.
No, go ahead.
What year you come out of Henry Ford?
1992.
Oh, okay. So, wow, I was there in '91.
Okay.
So we went,
Here.
you have a lot going up on the first floor.
I believe it was on the second floor, about elevators.
Okay.
But I would always try to make my way up to Mr. Randolph's class.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Randolph wasn't like Puerto Rican.
Yep.
Split hair and all the teachers. He was flirting with him. He used to have people flirting with him.
Oh, the ladies love Mr. Randolph.
Wow. I did not know, ladies and gentlemen, I did not know that she was a graduate of Henry Ford. So just reminiscing here. All right. So you police cadet. Mm-hmm. So when did you make the transition to joining the actual Detroit Police Department?
Well, I actually applied for it while I was doing the police cadet.
Okay.
And I had told them, I was like, hey, I'm about to join the police department. And they was like, yeah. One person in particular, his name was Michael Busby. Mm-hmm. He would work the desk. I love to come in and work with Michael Busby. And he was very encouraged about joining the police department. Pretty much everybody at the 2nd Precinct at that time was very encouraging about joining the Detroit Police Department. And I did it. Mm-hmm. I did it.
So how old were you when you were there at the when you started? Was it right out of high school?
Pretty much. Exactly. 18.
18. You can become a police officer.
Yep. 18. Wow. Absolutely. And they're coming right now. 18.
So at the time, was there a lot of women that was joining?
Not too many. Maybe a handful. I think I had maybe about 5 of us in my class. I can't really remember.
Okay.
I think it was about 5.
And so how many first in your class?
That's what I'm saying, about 5 of us.
No, total people.
Maybe it's like about maybe like 35 people.
35. Okay.
Maybe.
And 5 ladies.
Yep.
Did they get, what was it like go ahead. In the what do they call it?
I'm not going to use
Basic.
it's kind of sort of like basic training.
What do they call the training? What is that? I don't know if it's I'm thinking of military basic training.
It's just
Police Academy. Police Academy. Police Academy. So what was it like being a late 015? Did they give you a hard time or they taught trash?
Well, they was very they paramilitary. So, coming from pretty much street life and coming onto the police department, it was like I wasn't.
Wait a minute. I want to pause now. You said street life, because I want to.
Well, the reason why I say street life is because I've been on my own since I was pretty much raising myself.
Right.
I mean, my mother, I was there, but it was more so like I was raising myself.
I understand. I know exactly what that's like. Yeah.
It was more so like coming from what I mean by street life is a discipline.
Right.
It was kind of an adjustment with the discipline part of it.
Right.
So in the academy, when you're paramilitary and they're all in your face and they're screaming, I had some challenging moments because it was just like, whoa, wait a minute, back up. You tried, you in my space. So, but I made it through it. I had, a few little hiccups being a female in the police academy with, superiors trying to, talk to you, say some things. So yeah, so
so you made it through.
I made it through it.
Okay. Now, back then, and I don't know, it's probably now, but Detroit has a reputation for crime and all this stuff. I mean, did you have any fear or like all the stuff that
honestly,
started, right?
I never even looked at it like that, and it's funny that you said that because I never once felt any type of fear. Because one thing I can say with my grandmother, who I was pretty much was under the wings of until she passed in '89, she always told me I was protected. So that stood with me. Wherever I went, whoever I came in encounter with, I would let them know off rip, I'm protected.
Oh wow!
But honestly, Charles, it didn't really resonate with me until maybe a few years ago.
Okay.
What it really meant when you say you're protected. Okay. Some people might have thought I was saying, oh, I'm politically connected because I got family that's into politics.
Okay.
I got family that's into religion, the churches. I got pastors. I got family that's high up in other places. I'm on there, but it did not really resonate to me what she said, what she meant by it. Sweetheart, you're protected. And so I would just tell people, hey, I'm protected.
Okay.
Right off rip.
You protected.
I'm protected.
Wow. Now, man, you seem like you had like really spirit. This is what you want to do. You definitely were mature because you were kind of raising yourself. So you kind of grew up fast. And shout out to you for despite your upbringing, you want to do something positive. So I think that deserves some credit.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if they can hear that. I turned the other battery. But so when you finished the police academy, did they give you what kind of assignments? I mean, you look probably. You look young now. So back then, were you working, undercover or something? When they put you on a squad car?
Actually, straight out of academy, I went to Greektown area and walked the beat.
Okay, that's when there was trap.
Trappers out. And we were at the old here, 1300 Bobian. That's where I reported to.
The old headquarters.
The old headquarters. I loved that building. I loved it.
You don't like the new building? Michigan? It's Michigan. Too crispy.
I like that historic look. I like the historic look. It's just too political to me.
Oh, okay. All right, so you go to 13 Bobian, and then what's your first assignment?
Like I said, I walked the beat until it was time for me.
Big time.
Yep, I walked the beat.
At night? Mostly.
Yep, I was working from 7 p.m. to 3 in the morning.
Okay. Was there
So,
curfews back then?
yeah, it was.
Okay. What were some of the things you encounter on your feet?
It was this one particular elderly lady. I cannot remember her name. She carried these like nunchucks, and everybody knew about her. And that's where, and she would, I would see her. She would go. She would hang her clothes on the fence.
Yeah.
Well, back up. She would go inside the headquarters. She would wash her clothes in that bathroom. In the ladies' bathroom, she would wash her clothes. No one never messed with her ever. They knew to back up when she couldn't do them chucks. Mm-hmm. So she would go outside. She would hang them on the front of the fence, and I would take interest in the homeless, being that I worked down. I just wanted to hear their story.
Okay.
So, they had a lot of stories.
All right.
Because a lot of people, they're misunderstood. Because a lot of these homeless people that's out here, is there something was interrupted in their life to where they're at now? Mm-hmm. So I like talking to them because, like, this particular lady, although she lived on the street, she, if I'm not mistaken, she used to be a nurse in the military. And then I met a gentleman. He was once a big time lawyer, and something just interrupted in their life. Yeah. So I took interest in the encounters I met with.
All right. So wow. So 1300 Bogan, walking to Greektown back in the day, Crackers Alley. Then you're dealing with the homeless, right? But was there anything like crazy? I'm thinking about
I did not.
You know, Greektown is not.
Yeah, it's wild. I did not really get my excitement until I got to my command.
What is that?
That's the 10th precinct. That's where my actual on Livernois and Elmhurst.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
I did not.
That's the hood.
So all the gravy train was up. So it was time to get to your command, and I went there. And when I tell you, amazing officers at the 10th precinct during that time frame, it was just like family. It was just the close niche, but like I said, that's when everything started kicking in. The real action started coming in at the 10th precinct.
Yeah,
and I was like,
Elmhurst.
Yeah, so I was just like, some days I was just like, what did I just get myself into?
You was over there by that historic little pizza shop over there. What's the name of that place?
I know what you're talking about.
It's not. No, I always get them mixed up.
I can't remember. Everybody was.
Bob's on the west side. Greg's is on the.
It had like a little red face.
I can't remember the name.
Everybody wanted that piece. I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah.
Wow.
I had a good time at number 10 though. Lost some good officers as well. During my stay over there. I think I was at number 10 for maybe approximately, I think maybe like 5 years.
Now, when you on command, you were in a car, you were doing
police runs.
Police runs.
Police runs.
What was some of the runs?
With everything from robberies, domestic violence to suicides, fatal accidents. Wow. You see it all when you're a police officer. And at such a young age, I've seen it all.
Wow. I mean, it doesn't look like, when I look at you now, I would not think you was because I have in my mind, the officer, female officer, lady officer, what they would look like.
Yeah.
What they
look like.
I don't know. I'm just thinking that Detroit, you got to be a little rugged,
No,
but
you know what? Sometimes I have found that as a woman, sometimes we do lose ourselves when we become police officers. We feel like we got to be tough. We got to lose our feminine.
Yeah.
And a lot of women do lose their feminine. Because I don't know. I mean, I was there. I was once that person that lost her feminine. Right. But I'm back.
All right, you're back. All right. So let's get into here's a little story, right? Henry Ford, Officer Prince, handsome guy with the beard, motorcycle, all that stuff. All right. You go to the cadet, then you go to the police academy at age 18. You do the beat on Traverse Alley Greek Town, then you're at the 10th police. All right, so I want to talk about. So let's transition about this book, and I think you're talking about. So you were a pregnant officer. What was transpiring at the time, and which led to the story in this book?
So back in 2008 is when I actually learned of my pregnancy. Early in the early days of 2008, I learned that I was pregnant, and when as a woman supposed to be very excited about your pregnancy, joyous, all that you want to share it with the world. Well, for me, it wasn't like that. One, being the first time pregnancy, I decided to share it, and it was downhill from there. But before I actually, no, sorry, when I did share it, it was just like, okay, I confided into someone about my pregnancy, and knowing that if I confide into someone, there's a chance that it might get told, but I didn't feel like it would get told because I trusted this person. Being on a police department during that time frame, you had to hide your pregnancy, and I was hiding it, but at the same time, I was hiding from the superiors, but I told what I thought was a friend. And from here, it was just like, because they didn't ask me, they just started to challenge me in regards to like changing my hours. I worked for a bureau at that time, and we wore plain clothes. So I would now, from wearing plain clothes, I had to put on this uniform that was uncomfortable, but I made it through it. From that point, from working the regular hours of maybe like 8 to 4, they changed my hours from 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. Now I got to get up extra early. I'm sick in the morning and deal with all that. Now we're doing uniform inspections. They're checking me out, trying to see if I'm pregnant. I wasn't really showing, but I'm going through the morning sicknesses, which was just, I'm like, you know what? I can't do this no more. I'm gonna have to let them know I'm pregnant. So the moment I was pregnant, I was released.
Now, why you couldn't let them know that you were pregnant? What was going on?
In fear of being released, like I was.
Like terminated?
Like terminated.
You could. So this is I guess the
women were hiding.
FMLA wasn't passed until Bill Clinton.
Right.
So back then, if you're pregnant, you lose your job.
Well, obviously, because I was released.
So when you say release,
I literally had to get me a lawyer.
Oh wow!
I had to get me a lawyer along with 4 other females.
Mm-hmm.
We teamed up with the ACLU, who fought the case. It said that at first it was stated that we pretty much knew that we could not be pregnant and be on the police department. Well, after doing a fine, proof sweep of the manuals and the policies, there was nothing in the policies that stated that we could not be pregnant and be police officers. So they had to restore us, and that pass we ended up doing.
So it was a class action. Okay.
And we won, and we got back our time, as well as then when I went to ACLU, went to Jennifer Graham home because she was the governor at the time. She changed the Pregnancy Act in December of 2008.
Okay. And you talk about that.
I do talk about that in chapter 13. Yes. Okay. And from there, along with the ACLU of Michigan, I started doing advocating on behalf of women. And I took, very much interest in that. I love it.
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to, for the sake of time, I want to share kind of your story with the purpose to get a backdrop, share about the book.
Yeah.
Tell us about some upcoming things. book, and how can people connect with you?
Awesome. So the book will be for sale. I have them on stock this weekend, um, October 14th. I will have a book signing at Hazel's Place, 5516 Michigan Avenue. You will get a signed copy. There will be a meet and greet from, I believe it's 4 p.m. to about 4:30, 5 o'clock meet and greet. Then I will start the book signing actually at 5 o'clock to 6. And then we're going to celebrate some major wins. I don't want to really go into details, but I got some major wins that I will be discussing at the book signing.
Okay. So I have the slide.
Absolutely.
You can see it here. And so give the address.
5516.
Look in that camera.
Okay, here we go. I'm sorry. So it's going to be at 5516 Michigan Avenue, which is Hazel's Place.
Mm-hmm. All right. And what time is it?
The meet and greet will be from 4 to 4:30, approximately 5. The book signing will begin at 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then we're going to celebrate
at Hazel's Place.
At Hazel's
What's
Place.
The street again?
Michigan Ave. Michigan Ave.
Michigan Ave. Is that near Port Town?
Actually,
Michigan Town?
it's kind of close in between the Livernois corridor and
Livernois. Okay.
75.
Okay. All right.
Where's the lodge?
No, it has to be 94 or
going back toward. It's kind of close to the downtown. Going back towards Rosa Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 75. Yeah, that's near Port Town.
Okay. So yeah, that's exactly where it's at.
Okay.
We're gonna have a good time, a majorly good time, because I got some deep things I'm gonna be announcing.
Who is this book for?
This book is actually for all women in every sector that's in a male-dominated career. Although it is our visionary is Chanel Dickerson, former assistant chief of police out of Washington, D.C. She is the visionary of this book, along with 19 co-authors. Out of 19, I'm one of those co-authors. We are women in law enforcement. So we're telling our stories, our experiences, but this book is for all women that are in male-dominated careers.
Okay. All women in male-dominated careers.
We are empowering women.
Wow.
It's no book type of bashing or anything like that. We are empowering women to pretty much live their best lives and that they can overcome any obstacles that they may face.
Okay.
We're the game changer.
Yes. Okay. That is awesome. Now, is this book, I know you have the book signing this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Will this book be available for purchase?
Yes.
Through Amazon?
Yep. You can either go through Amazon. You can go through my website at angelicaspeaks.com, or you can contact me direct via social media. I'll send you the link.
Okay. So I do have, now I have your website. I think it's, is it Angelica Speaks?
AngelicaSpeaks.com.
All right. Now tell our audience more about what you do with that.
Okay. So Angelica Speaks is a platform where I do speaking engagements. My speaking engagements is geared towards women in career business. Pretty much teaching women how to overcome their fears and obstacles in their career and business, and teach them how to level up in their business.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So I have a slide here. So people, you do coaching, business coaching on a level of your business.
Yep.
So they can get in contact with you.
Absolutely.
Your
business coaching. I'm a transformational speaker.
Okay. All right. So I have your website. Contact you for business coaching, speaking, and also get your book.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. So as we wrap up, any closing announcements or remarks or words of encouragement you want to give to our audience?
I want to just tell women, especially women in law enforcement, although we're faced with so much, we encounter so much. Embrace yourself. Stay true to yourself. Don't lose yourself in law enforcement. Self-care is everything. That mental is everything because we're vulnerable and we are still human, so don't let the job take over you. Do some self-care, self-love. Stay true to yourself. Keep rising. Don't get caught up into this worldly wicked ways. And I want to give a shout out to the Elite Women organization. The founder, Carol Dorsey. I want to give a shout out to my family, Lil Wooly, my daughter Carly. I want to give a shout out to the lady, Adriana, and all the people that support me and have supported this Uncuffed Voice movement.
Okay.
And I hope that you guys come out Saturday because I have some major announcements I'm going to be making. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have a really good time. And I just want to really lay out on what Angelica Speaks will be actually putting out here.
All right. As we wrap up, we'll wrap up in a few more minutes. Explain what is the Uncuffed movement? What is that all about? Explain it to our audience.
Uncuffed movement is pretty much releasing, speaking your truth, living in your truth. Okay. Our voices have been cuffed so much where we've been living in like a little fear of retaliation. So we don't want to, we don't want to speak one in fear of what repercussions may be. We're not doing that. Okay. We standing in our truth. We speak in our truth. Our voices have been uncovered. Okay. It's nothing that you can tell me. It's my right.
All right. I like that.
Simple as that. It's all right. I'm telling every woman out there, stand in your truth.
Stand in your truth.
Speak your truth.
Speak your truth.
Choose you. Live your purpose authentically. Authentically.
Yes.
Live your truth.
Live your truth.
With an uncuffed voice.
With an uncuffed voice. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Angelica.
It's okay.
Angelica Robinson for being on the episode 92 of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, sharing about the Uncuffed movement, staying true to your voice. Don't be ashamed. Speak out. We just want to, and a part of our show is to celebrate what you're doing, the positive contributions at the city of Detroit. I want to thank you personally for your service as an officer in law enforcement, protecting the citizens of Detroit, and your continued work in that endeavor, as well as what you're doing with helping women achieve greatness in their life.
Absolutely.
And folks, we want to make sure you come to book signing celebration. It's going to be this Saturday. Tell us more that address one more time before we close out.
5516 Michigan Ave, Hazel Place. We're going to have an amazing time. Okay. Once again.
What time does it start?
4 p.m. to 4:30 is the meet and greet. Okay. We're going to kick off this book signing at exactly 5 o'clock, so you don't want to miss it. Okay. Get there to get your book. Matter of fact, the book is going to be going for $20.
All right.
$20. And you're going to get your signed copy of Uncuffed Voices. Okay. And I guarantee you're going to be so empowered by this book. You're going to have your own, you're going to be reading. I can guarantee you that every woman will be able to relate to a story in this book in some way, shape, or fashion. You will be able to relate to one of these stories, if not all of them. The book is amazing. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a co-author. I'm saying it because it's the truth. The book is amazing. And I've already started on the second one. And I'll talk more about that on.
All right. So
on Saturday.
I want to thank those for joining us. Shout out to Georgia A. Cole. Says you're awesome. Thank you. We'll be there. All right.
What was that name?
Georgie A. Cole.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I thought that was my captain for a minute. I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
what? Thank you, Coles.
I want to thank everybody who joined us live. Again, support Angelica Robinson for a book signing. Make sure your book, Uncover Voices, which will be available on Amazon after.
It's already on
Oh,
Amazon.
you can get it. Okay, you can get it
I
on
don't know
Amazon.
how we got this.
Okay, make sure.
I have to, before I get off here, I gotta say something to the Miss Chanel Dickerson. That's my visionary. I love her to pieces.
All right.
She is the bomb.
Shout out to Michelle.
No, Chanel.
Chanel.
That's our visionary of
Okay.
Uncovered Voices.
All right. So thanks again for those who joined us live. We'll see you next week with another difference maker. Thanks again to our guests. And you guys have a good night. We'll see you next week. And remember if you find value in what we do, like and subscribe to our channel. Smash that like button. Share with friends and family.